What is up, everyone? It's Gage here. Welcome to Buck Dat. And today we'll be discussing the NFL schedule and a few other things like Tampa Bay Infernos this past Saturday, I should say. But Ken will not be joining us. He was called on duty, so we will continue our podcast together next week. But I had to bring this content to you guys. I just man down, but we'll be all good. NFL schedule. Wow. I was pumped, honestly, because guys, like a lot of people are saying the Bucs are gonna suck. They're gonna be last. CBS has us as 5-12. The hell is that? Like, I would understand if we lost Levante David or he retired or something. We lost Dean, who is I think he's top 30, top 40 in D-backs in NFL rated. And we did it. We did not. Dean resigned for a cheaper deal, $13 million. He could have got around 16, 17, which is where he was averaging about, which he would have got from their team. Levante David, veteran, older, but he could have got some money. I mean, Von Miller can get that money. I'm pretty sure Levante David could. He resigns the Bucs at 1 year, $7 million. So, guys, our defense, honestly, I think we improved. We had a lot of older guys. Don't get me wrong, I like Logan Ryan, but the dude was older. He was in his early 30s. He was on his way out of he was at the very end of his career. And on his way out the door. And we upgraded that position where Logan Ryan took over. Ryan Neal. He's from the Seattle Seahawks. PFF rated him number 3 in secondary. I mean, shit, guys. Like this, I'm looking at the defense, and the quarterback position is a big question mark right now because everyone's like, oh, will it be Kyle Trask? Will it be Baker? There's a battle right now going on. Actually, speaking of that, Rob Gronkowski has spoke on that. He is predicting that Baker Mayfield will be the starter, unless he plays horrendous and Kyle Trask will start, which he and I don't think will happen. Baker Mayfield has a high ceiling, but he's had a rough season, past 2 seasons really, because he tore his rotor cuff in his last season with Cleveland Browns, his worst season as a Cleveland Brown. And then the next year he played Panthers, still recovering from his shoulder injury surgery, and didn't play good. He had 6 games and they benched him, and then he was cut, I believe, around trade deadline, and then he went to the Rams and had a comeback victory and lost the next 3 games. So there's Baker's had his success and he's had his struggles. His best season coming in 2020 when he had 26 touchdowns and 6 picks. And he won a playoff game, beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the wild card, and then got beaten by the Kansas City Chiefs, which I don't think anyone can blame Baker for losing that. I mean, they're a powerhouse. So Baker and Kyle Trask. Now this is where Kyle Trask comes in. Kyle Trask has a resume. He hasn't played. He hasn't really given a fair shot. He hasn't really played with the starters, which a lot of people mention. Now he has played preseason, but he just started getting looks last year in preseason. So they're saying that like Kyle Trask has a resume. Me personally, I don't think he's going to be a starter. I say Baker Mayfield beats him by experience, and also this is my opinion, but I believe a lot of people can back. I believe a lot of people can be. I feel the same. You gotta have that dog in you. There's a lot of quarterbacks. They're very good quarterbacks, but they don't have that dog in them. Like Kirk Cousins. You look at him. Good numbers, 4,000 yards. 4,000 yards each year. He puts the numbers up. He plays deep, but he looks good. But when it comes to the games, when important games, prime time, not good. Not good. He's 1-9 in prime time. And Kirk Cousins is a bad quarterback. I would put him and Derek Carr about the same. I feel like Derek Carr has a little bit more leadership and has a little bit more. I feel like he has more dog in him than Kirk Cousins, but yeah, these players look good. But it's that dog. It's like, guys, let's fucking go. It's like they'll do whatever it takes to win the game. Even if they have to take risks, they'll do whatever it takes to win the game. Baker Mayfield has that. Baker Mayfield will run the ball. He will throw it. He will do whatever it takes to win. Even as a backup, he'll do what his job, and that's what he did to the Panthers. A guy could have cried about it, he could have moaned about it, but he was a good teammate. He was excited even when they won a game. He's bumping helmets with the players. That shows a lot of leadership from Baker. And I'm getting kind of carried away. We'll get to the schedule in a minute, but Baker Mayfield, I believe, has a dog in him, and this is the best team he's played with. Now, he's had Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham were teammates, but they were never top tier. Odell Beckham was, but Odell Beckham, him and Baker had a lot of problems in the locker room. I don't know what happened really, because it's just a bunch of he say, she say, all that kind of shit. But Baker has the best receivers he's ever had. Mike Evans, who gets 1,000 yards each year and is considered a future Hall of Famer. He has Godwin, who is very vertical as a receiver. He's had about 4 out of 6 seasons he's had 1,000 yards, and he's very much a red zone threat on the offense. And then you got Russell Gage, who got dinged up last year, but when he's healthy, he can ball. He's a very good slot receiver. And this is a guy I want to talk about, David Moore. David Moore is coming to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think is going to make the roster and be a number 4 receiver for the Bucs. There's a lot of new guys coming in, but I feel like David Moore is going to make it. Just look at his resume. He had 13 touchdowns, 1,100 yards in 4 seasons with the Seattle Seahawks. Now, one of those 4 years, he didn't play at all because he was a 7th-round pick, so he had to work his way up. And his rookie season, he actually worked. He was a receiver under Dave Canales, who was a receiver coach from 2010 to 2017. So they have some familiarity. Dave Canales is bringing his guy back, and Dave Canales is going to bring David Moore to his strength. So David Moore, I'm really excited about it. I think he's going to be a very good number. I say he could be number 4, but we'll see about that. Just my niece. I'm at right now. I'm in Tampa and spend some time with the family. So you might hear some knocking. That's my niece trying to take the spotlight a little bit. But getting back to the topic, David Moore, I think a great signing, very underrated. He got in trouble with. He actually passed out in a Wendy's parking lot with possession of marijuana and guns and I guess a glove box or somewhere in the car. So he got cut a couple months after he got charged and didn't really get a chance until the Bucs signed him. So David Moore gets a second chance at the Bucs, and we're gonna see what he can do. Hopefully he makes the final roster, but he'll be at least an interesting. He'll make an interesting preseason. And to finish off the signings, C.J. Brewer, Houston Roughneck from the XFL. He had, let's see here, I can't believe I forgot his tackles already. He had 17 tackles and 2.5 sacks. Pretty good, he's like a defensive tackle, so not too bad actually. Pretty good. And I can't really go off because XFL still, I'm still learning about it a little bit, I think he's going to be, worst case scenario, very good camp body. Has some potential, possibly make the practice squad or be depth for backups, but we're going to see how it plays out. CJ Brewer, I wish you the best, man. And same with you, David Moore. Hope you guys are given the best chance to win. And yeah, welcome to the Bucs. Welcome to the Bucs. This is the best team you could be on, my guy. Highly recommended. Now, the big one. The NFL draft. NFL schedule. We have a lot of games. Now, I didn't fully get them in order. But I'm going to tell you the big ones. Like week 1, the Minnesota Vikings. Now, if you guys know, I actually was a Vikings fan. I grew up a Vikings fan right up until I moved here to Tampa about 2 years ago. That's when I became a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. So I missed the Super Bowl, so don't have too much have too much stake in that Super Bowl, but I'll take it, as a team, not mine. But yeah, I came here 2 years, spent most of my life a Vikings fan. Wanted a place where I can connect the community like you wonderful people. And the Vikings, they gave me more stress than the Buccaneers have ever had in 2 years. And it's going to be interesting because the Vikings, in my opinion, have the top 5 offense. With Jefferson and now this one new guy named Addison, who was a top prospect in the first round. They got T.J. Hockenson, who's a top 5 tight end as well. Kirk Cousins, well, he's Kirk Cousins. He'll be above average quarterback. Like I said, good quarterback, but doesn't have the dog in him. And they go against the Bucs, obviously. I think it's going to be a very tight game because we have a good defense, which can go toe-to-toe with the Vikings offense, I think, in my opinion. We'll see how it works out. But Baker Mayfield gets a test right off the gate. I'm saying Baker Mayfield because I think he's going to be the winner. Right off the gate. Baker Mayfield had a rough past season or two. So he gets a test right away against a good team who made the playoffs last year at 13-4, I believe they were. And so big test for the Buccaneers already. And then I believe week 3 is the Eagles. I'm just going by the main weeks. The big games that are noticeable. Obviously, we got the Saints, the Falcons, the Panthers, etc. And we get the Eagles week 3. Early. We get the Philadelphia Eagles. Super Bowl, they were in the Super Bowl last year. So it's going to be a tough game. We got a really tough schedule early on. So the Bucs, Baker Mayfield's really going to have to, if he's a starter, he's really going to have to bring the heat. He's going to have to feel dangerous. He's going to have to feel that dangerous side of him when he plays. And the offense is going to have to adjust really quickly because it's hard, especially a new quarterback under helm, and you got new guys coming in. So and Tom Brady was there for 3 years, so it's going to be a big adjustment. So we're going to see how the team adjusts to that. And we get Detroit Lions, I believe, week 4. Upcoming team. Now, Detroit Lions is known for, nobody's like, man, Detroit Lions, who the fuck's these guys? And they've been sucking for basically 40 years. These guys are playing pretty well under Dan Campbell. Jared Goff, surprisingly, he's actually doing pretty decent. He's actually playing really good under Dan Campbell. Was kind of average with the Rams. And now he's playing up to what he was thought to be when he was drafted number 1 overall. Or I think number 2, actually, in the 2016 draft. And now he's playing up to his potential, what the Rams thought he could be. So the Detroit Lions are playing pretty good. They actually drafted Herndon Hooker, who is expected, I believe, to be the starter for the Detroit Lions in a year or two. So they got some interesting developments going in there. And got a good offense. Yeah, good offense. They got a new rookie, Gibson. So we're going to see how that works out for them. They took a big risk drafting a rookie and then trading their main guy to the Philadelphia Eagles, who we're going to get. Swift, that's his name. DeAndre Swift. Georgia guy. Freaking Eagles take all the Georgia guys. I swear to God. Wyatt Rowe got that. He made. I recommend him. He got some funny skits over there. He was making a joke about that, so it's funny how that kind of turned this conversation. Then we get bye week 5, and then I don't got every game in order. But basically, a couple of rivals, Saints, Falcons, Panthers are there's 6 games in total. We got the Titans, who will be an interesting game. They're falling apart. Don't even know who the fuck their starting quarterback is. But for right now, I'm gonna guess it is gonna be that rookie. So yeah, I didn't even remember his name because I didn't think he was gonna be that good, to be honest. So I didn't really. Levis, that is Will Levis. Will Levis, who was rumored to be a Buck, which I am glad they did not draft him. I'm just not a big fan of the dude. Just saying he's going to be like a Zach Wilson type. But yeah, we probably going to go against Will Levis. And we go against, this is one of the big games I'm really excited for. The Jacksonville Jaguars on Christmas Eve. That's going to be a big game, primetime game. Baker is going to have a lot. If he comes to start, he's going to be tested a lot this season. Now, Baker, that's what I'll say about Baker. Baker was a walk-on in Oklahoma. And when his back's against the wall, he balls out. So hopefully he can do consistently with the Bucs. And this schedule is, I'm excited. I'm nervous, but very excited. In my personal opinion, I think the Bucs, I would rate them around 19 to 20. They're not going to be the best team, but I believe they'll be playoff contenders, and they'll win the NFC South. Because in my opinion, NFC South is very weak right now. Their team in a couple of years could be a very tough division, similar to what the NFC West was, or not the West, but NFC East, I should say. Because it was rough. Like the Cowboys are average. Now they're still kind of average, but they're pretty competitive still. The Washington Commanders, they're getting new owners, so who knows how that's going to turn out. Giants were weak. They were weak, and now they got up there. So the NFC East is not weak anymore. Now it's the NFC South. And the Saints got Derek Carr, who I think is above average quarterback, kind of the same around as Kirk Cousins, but with especially the Saints head coach, I don't see that playing out too well for him. Saying that I would put them like a 6 to 7 win team. I don't really put them too high. Falcons, they don't have a quarterback. They built a really good defense, in my opinion, in the free agency, and they do got some weapons on offense. But with a guy like Riddler, no go. I put like 7 wins with them. So I wouldn't. The defense is going to be a threat, but the offense I won't be too concerned with. And finally, the Panthers. They got Bryce Young, rookie. He will probably be going against Bryce Young most likely because Zane Dalton. I don't see him starting for the full season. And they got a really good coach staff. A couple of former players there. They got Frank Reich, who did really well with the Indianapolis Colts. So we got some. Our rivals are the NFC South is getting very interesting. But the Bucs, I'm speaking right now. I'm not speaking a year or two from now. Right this very moment. Bucs, I would project to be 10-7 heading to the playoffs. I say 9 to 10, but I'm gonna say strong 10-7. Bucs are in the playoffs. They win the NFC South. And mark my words, I'm not talking about Tom Brady. I'm not talking about the 2020 or even the 2021 Tom Brady. I'm talking about last season's Tom Brady, 2022. Baker Mayfield will be playing better than Tom Brady was last season. And Tom Brady looked good stat-wise. But let's be honest, he missed a lot of passes. He was not playing very good. And I believe his energy affected the team a lot. Like, he was underthrowing Mike Evans. He was overthrowing his receivers. It looked really bad. I'm surprised he got as many yards as he did. But, I think Baker is going to play really well this season. And I'm really excited to see how this team turns out. And let me know your guys' thoughts on this schedule. But I want to touch on one last thing before we head off. Tampa Bay Inferno's game. They played last Saturday against DC Divas. Personally, my personal opinion, I thought they had this in the bag. The DC Divas got demolished by the Boston Renegades, who actually won the championship last season. That Tampa Bay Inferno was short by 1 touchdown. It was 21-14, and and this is their second loss in a row. So it's the Tampa Bay Infernos face a lot of adversity. But it's the road to Canton, and this is a lot of the coaches I've talked to, the players I've talked to, Tampa Bay Infernos, their mindset is Canton or nothing. Canton or nothing. And the road to Canton, it's called a road for a reason. This ain't an escalator. Like Arlo Henderson, when I talked to the head coach, this is what he mentioned. It's not an escalator. Like, this ain't going to be smooth. It's a fucking road, bro. You're going to run into obstacles. You might run into a fucking bear. So you got to just push through, survive, and work together. Keep getting stronger each time you face another obstacle. And, the best stories come out of the biggest adversities. Look at the New York Giants. 9-7, a wild card. Everyone thought they were going to get knocked out and they won the Super Bowl. They went against the undefeated New England Patriots with Randy Moss, Tom Brady, Wes Walker, all those guys. And Rob Gronkowski, can't forget about him. Actually, that was before he came. But yeah, Wes Walker, Randy Moss, who I think is one of the greatest receivers of all time. And the Giants beat him. So who's to say Tampa Bay Infernos can't do something similar to that? Who's to say they can't win the rest of their games and make it to the playoffs and go to fucking Canton? Now that's, you're like, oh, who's being the opinion? But there's what they're, like I said, it's not gonna be easy. They're gonna have to. There's a lot of adjustments they're gonna have to make. This is Candy Pistol. This is her first season under helm, taking over the longtime starter Kim Shaw, who just retired. She's still getting rhythm, but her passes are tightening up each week, and the consistency is getting there. There's been some small mistakes with the offensive line, defensive line as well. Just little mistakes, but they can cost games. So that's something they're going to have to work on. Just little mistakes, minimizing those, and making most of their opportunities. And this team, I've said this a few times, but this team has heart. Let me tell you, sometimes it's not always about skill. It's not always about having the superstars. Sometimes it's about having that brotherhood or that sisterhood, working together. And this team, the coaching staff, they're family. You can feel it, man. Even their fans, they give a lot of love to, man. It's amazing, man. And this team, don't underestimate them. Don't underestimate them, because they got some very skillful players. They got the female version of Derrick Henry running out there. I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, I'm definitely not underestimating them. I'm going to be going to that game on Saturday. I'm really excited to see them get back on track and make their road to Canton, and use these last two games as fuel. Like, hey guys, you thought we're out? Well, say it again, because we're fucking going to go straight to Canton. No one's going to stop us. And the head coach is doing a wonderful job, just coaching staff and their family. They work together. So this team's going to do really well. Check them out on Saturday. They go against the Alabama Fire. It starts at 6 o'clock at Sickles High School Stadium. So check them out. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, I highly recommend you check it out. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. Definitely have fun talking to you guys. Definitely missing Ken. He's always he always brings energy to the team, and yeah, he does a wonderful job. So Ken, if you're watching, man, missing you, and can't wait to have you back on next week. You guys, thank you for coming on. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like and subscribe, and I hope you buck that.